at the homework from Wednesday. So we did vertically opposite angles and alternate angles. Now, some of you may have come up with different ways of doing these. So just for the first one, I'm going to talk about all the ways of doing it. And after that, hopefully, there's always, especially when these get more complicated, there's always a couple of ways to solve them, and they're all equally as valid. Okay, so find the size of each angle marked with the letters in the following diagrams. Make sure you show all your work and give a reason for your answer. Okay, so these are x's, which means we must have vertically opposite angles. So if I look here, that one is the same as that one. Yeah, because they're opposite each other. So I can say that C is 55 degrees, and my reason is that they're vertically opposite. Okay, and then I can also say, a bit lighter, that this one is opposite this one on the cross. Yeah? So B is 125 degrees, and my reason is the same. Yeah? Now, just to show you, in case anybody did this, you could also say that this here is a straight line, in which case these two need to add up to 180. So you could say that straight angle equals 180. So 180 minus 55. Oh. So you do 180 is 125. So then we know that B is 125. And then, I mean, it's up to you. You could do another, there's like a couple of ways to do this. So you could do another straight line down here, like this, and make it another 180, or, and I'm just really messing with this now, you could talk about that you have a full angle. So a full angle is 360 degrees. If you add up 55, we know now that B is 125, and the other 125. So if you add them up, you get 305. And then if you do 360 minus 305, we get 55. So C is 55. Okay, so I got the same answers. Now, I'm not suggesting that, like, the way I wanted you to do it, because I was teaching you vertically opposite, I wanted you to do it that way. I'm just, if anybody looked at it and thought, well, why did I need to do vertically opposite there? Why couldn't I just use the stuff we were using the other day? You can. Okay, so there is a couple of ways to do that question and get the same answers. Okay, vertically opposite is probably the easiest because it doesn't actually require any calculation, where obviously these ones do require additions and subtractions and stuff. Okay, I just wanted to show you. Now, and that's going to work for all of these. I'm not going to do it for all of them. Alright, I'm also going to rub it out because I need the space. Everybody okay with that? Hopefully. Let me know if you're not. And like I said, if this is what... Oh, crap. Sorry. If this is what you wrote up here, like as in literally my first two lines, that is absolutely correct. I'm just saying this in case anybody... I feel like if we were in class, somebody would have said, but is that not just one full angle, or is that not just a straight line? So I'm just trying to answer questions I never heard. Okay. So we'll keep going. Okay, so the second one. Right, so same as above. it's an X, so I have vertically opposite angles. So there and they're opposite that one there. Yeah. So C is 60 degrees. Because they're vertically opposite, and you can now see, even if I don't colour it in, you can see that B and 120 are opposite. So B is 120. Okay, next one down. Ooh, ooh. So this one, sorry now, it's the same as that one. Yeah, so we can see that B is 35. Now again, there's a couple of ways to get to this next bit. I'm just going to do it the way I would do it. Okay, so you can see I don't know A or C, so I'm just going to rub out my colour that I've done so far. This doesn't really matter which way you look at it, but here is a straight line. See it there? Which means these two have to add up to 180 degrees. So I can do 180 minus 35, which is 145. So I get A equals 145, and my reason for that was the straight angle. Yeah? And then if I remove this again, this angle is opposite this one. So we know that A and C are equal. Sorry, we know that A is equal to C, and we already know that A is 145. So C must be 145. And how did I know that? My reason is that they were vertically opposite. Ooh. Yeah. No, it's all moving, that's fine. Annoying. Okay, excuse me. So the last one here, slightly harder, but hopefully you got it. So there's a big X here. Okay, I know it's more of a cross, but it's still an X. So that means that this angle here is opposite this angle here. Does that make sense? Okay, can you see that they're opposite there? Okay, now I don't know if you can see it now because I've kind of gone over it, but there's a little symbol here, which means I like to think you're answering me. 90. Yeah? So we know that 30 degrees plus D must equal 90 degrees. So hopefully you can see that D is 60. Okay, and the theory I used, or the reason I was able to do that, is because they were vertically opposite. Yeah? Just move this down a bit more. Okay, so then, okay, so we know that these here, see this one and this one are vertically opposite, but we don't know either of them, so that's kind of a bit useless at the moment. But you see where I'm colouring here? Hopefully you can. All the way along there is a straight line, which means B and 90 have to add up to 180. So B and 90 have to make 180 because they're sitting on a straight line or a straight angle. So if I do 180 minus 90, I get 90. So B is 90. Okay, so do that. Search. Ooh. Insert. Okay, so now we have B. Okay. And then, oh yeah, we already in blue have highlighted the fact that A is equal to B. So if B is 90, that means A must also be 90. And how did I know that? Because they're vertically opposite. Yeah? Okay, so they didn't ask for a C, did they not? Word, ABD. Okay, so I know it looks a mess now, but hopefully as I was writing it, it's not messy in your copies. I am not doing this bit out here for your sake. I'm doing it because in the question you were asked to give a reason for your answer. Okay, in these questions you are always expected to do the maths but give a reason. Okay, so your answers should look like this, as in they should have, not this messy, but they should have the calculation, the answer, but also what was it that drove you to get that answer or drove you to do that calculation. Okay, now we only have a handful of reasons. Was it the 4 that I gave you yesterday? So straight angle, full angle, vertically opposite, or alternate. So that's it, like. So it's one of 4 reasons. Okay? Right, so we move down to these ones. So you can see, pen's upside down, you can see that these lines are parallel and we have a transversal. Okay, so parallel lines and a transversal, we should be looking for alternate angles. So let's see if we can find a Z. Go a little bit thicker. Okay, so cross, down, across, and then opposite sides of the transversal are equal. See it there? So angle 1 is 50 degrees. And how did I know that? Because they were alternate. Yeah? Just going to take this off. I just think that it's nicer when you can take the colours off. I have an X here. See it? There's my X. And opposite sides of the X are equal. There you go. So I know that angle 1 equals angle 2. How did I know that? Because I saw the X and I was able to pick them out as being vertically opposite. Yeah? So then I can say that angle 2 is also equal to 50 degrees. Alright? Number 2, so again, we'll just highlight it quickly. Parallel lines, transversal. Yeah? Okay, so I'm allowed to look for my Z's. Can I see one? I can. So along the parallel line, down the transversal, along the parallel line, then that angle there is equal to that angle there. Because remember, they have to be on opposite sides of the transversal. Okay, so that's not going to help me. But anyway, I know that angle 1 equals angle 2. How do I know that? Because the two of them are alternate to each other. Okay, so we'll keep that in the bank. Oh yeah, I see it. So this is a straight line, which means they both have to make 180 degrees. So angle 2 plus 70, it's not a plus, plus 70 have to equal 180 degrees. How do I know that? Because they are sitting on a straight line, or together they make up a straight angle. So if I do 180 minus 70, I get 110. So I know that angle 2 has to be 110 degrees. And then up here, I said angle 1 was equal to angle 2. So angle 1 is also 110 degrees. Okay, and the last one. Now hopefully being sideways didn't confuse you, but parallel, parallel, transversal. Okay, so it's all on its side. So now in my Z shape, it has to start on the parallel line, go down the transversal, and back onto the parallel line. Can you see it there? So now we know this angle and this angle have to be equal because they're on opposite sides. So angle 2 equals 43 degrees, and we know that because they are alternate to each other. Yeah? And then hopefully you can see this one. Here is a straight line, which means any angles in here must add up to 180. So angle 1 plus angle 2 have to add up to 180. Why? Because they're sitting on a straight angle. We already know angle 2 is 43. So if we do 180 minus 43, that doesn't look like a 3. So 180 minus 43 is 137. So we know that angle 1 is 137 degrees. Okay, so hopefully they went reasonably well. Like I said, these are new skills, so give yourself a break. And if they didn't, hopefully this has helped. And again, if it hasn't, please let me know. Okay, we have next week, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Monday, Wednesday, Thursday for Macaleese. So I suppose I'm planning on doing class Monday and Wednesday, and then leaving it at that. And then Thursday or Friday, I don't really mind which day. If we want to do, if you want to have an online class and there's any questions you want to ask me, that's no problem. We can do that. I'm not gonna I'll do another theorem today. I'll see, maybe 2. And I'm just gonna do 1 or 2 theorems today, Monday and Wednesday, and then we'll see where we are. Okay, so I don't know how many theorems are left in chapter 18. I don't know what we're at. I'm just gonna try and, I think, if the theorem's difficult, 1 a day is fine. If the theorem's grand, 2 a day. And I'm not going to push any harder than that to try and get it finished or anything. We can just do it in September. Alright, so that's the plan. Okay, so this is class content obviously for today, and then you'll have 2 more class contents. And then wherever we are on Wednesday, that'll be it, exam wise. Okay, and if you want, we can set up a live class and try and do, just for your own peace of mind more than anything, if you want to ask me a few questions.